What is up, NVKBA family? Good to be back. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Go ahead and kick this off momentarily. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd already. Like I said, I appreciate that. As always with these captains meetings, you don't have to watch it live, but you got to watch it at some point. What's up, Brandon Howe? Copy loud and clear. Awesome. So yeah, here we are. The final trail event of the season. Not including the classic, right? That's still technically a trail event, but it is the culminating event for the season. So you have to qualify for that. So I think unless you've been living under a rock, everyone knows that we run the classic now based on qualification. So no longer is it based on how many events you fish, but how well you fished throughout the season. So we take the top 30 anglers of the AOY standings. So we're coming in fast and furious for the classic here. The classic's only 2 weeks away. So we have this event, and then we're turning and burning. We're going to be churning out all of the final qualifications immediately after trail stop number 7 after this weekend. We already got trophy orders for the end of the season put in through Catch. Big shout out to Catch and the folks over there. Thank you, Joel, as well for hooking it up with that, brother. Joel's been doing an awesome job of communicating with Catch for the trophies all season long. So I couldn't have done it without you, man. But yeah, the proofs are in. They're working it, and hopefully we'll have them here in a couple weeks before the classic. So classic again. I'll talk about a lot of this later on as well. But just to give everyone the heads up, we are still going to be running it at Lake Anna as planned. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time, and hopefully, fingers crossed that we won't have the kind of weather issues that we've had in the past with the classic. So, like I said, fingers crossed. Pray to the weather gods that all is well there. Moving into that, and then obviously we had some weather this week as well. So we'll touch on the weather a little bit for this weekend. I think we're going to be in the clear in terms of precipitation and wind and things like that. But we do need to focus on what just happened, right? We did just get a lot of rain in a short amount of time, especially here in the Stafford area. We had a nice wet day yesterday and the day before, so there's something to keep an eye on. We'll make sure we check the river out, but like I said, I don't foresee any major issues. It might be a little bit stained water, things like that, but we'll tough through it. We always do. Cameron, the AOY standings are on the Fishing Chaos app. So when you log in there, just click on the series standings for 2024 under the club, and you should be able to see them there. They may not be 100% accurate, but just know that we'll make sure that all that stuff is good to go immediately after trail stop number 7. And also we will be taking away one trail stop throughout the season. So basically it's going to be your best 6 events that are going to count for the AOY points leading up to the classic. So whether you fished all 6 or all 7 or not, if you only fished 4, obviously only those 4 are going to count. We're not going to take away one of your 4. Nobody is going to have any more than 6. So if you fished all 7, you did horrible one event, that one's going to go away, and you will rise, more than likely rise in the standings. So it's going to get shaken up here a little bit. We have some, the AOY, the runners for those folks who are in the running for AOY. Could be anybody in the top 10, really. I mean, we're going to see here, like I said, in a few days after this tournament, how things are going to shake up leading into the classic. Carrie, awesome. Water was very suitable, a bit stained. That's good to hear. Very good to hear. I have not been out on it at all this year. So, yeah, I wanted to get out last weekend with Riley, but we had a few things going on, prevented that. But nonetheless, we'll be, like I said, we'll be going this weekend and, give it heck. It's a good river. It definitely does produce some good bass, produces some really nice snakehead as well. And if you haven't noticed already, there is the snakehead side challenge for this tournament. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and kick this thing off. Like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Let me go ahead and pull up our slides for the evening. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. Let me know if you guys can see that all right. I can see it good here on my end. Um, we'll go ahead and kick this thing off. All right, first and foremost, before we jump into this, huge shout out to VKAE, Virginia Kayak Anglers Elite, based right here out of Northern Virginia. They're kind of our brother club, and we owe them a huge thank you for stepping up. This is the first time that they've helped us out. They've been awesome about helping us out with our snakehead side pots, and any multi-species side pot that we decide to do. Joe and the folks over at VKA just want to thank you guys very much, and if you guys are interested, if anyone is interested in multi-species tournaments, especially for snakeheads, they run their snakehead series with the China Classic. Usually ends somewhere around midsummer when the snakehead bite is on fire. So yeah, definitely check them out if you're into that. I know I am. I wish I would have made it to some more events, but I'm hoping next year I'll be able to make it to more of those. I know I was at the opener this year, and it was just an awesome time, real down to earth crowd, and everybody just had a blast. So please check them out. And Joe and the folks at VKA, definitely, like I said, I appreciate you guys very much. Looking forward to an awesome event this weekend. It's $10 if and it's optional if you want to sign up for the snakehead side pod. It's not too late. If you only signed up for the bass, you should still be able to go in there and sign up for it after you've already registered. So, and if you have trouble with that, just let me know. We'll make sure that you can get that ticket. All right, here's what we're going to go over tonight. We're going to go over the registration process, rules overview, some pre-fishing. We're going to talk about the eligible waters, safety, and the game day timeline, and then we'll open it up for some questions. I'll go through the chat here. I'm running solo tonight. Joel wasn't able to make it on, so just bear with me when it comes to the questions and stuff off to the chat, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. All right, everyone knows by now we use Fishing Chaos. If you're new to the club, make sure you have a Fishing Chaos account. Obviously, you would have needed one to register and become a member anyway. So I know everyone here is familiar with that. But that is the tournament management system that we use. Make sure if you're still on the fence about registration, tomorrow night, Friday at 11:59 p.m. is the cutoff. So just make sure that you get registered before then, and you should be good to go. Like I said, if anyone has any issues with registration, just give me a holler, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Rules overview. All right, I'll hit on this one more time. Obviously, the classic we'll touch on as well, but just make sure that everyone is familiar with the NVKBA competitive event competition rules standard that is found on our website, nvkba.com, and that does share the same KBF rules foundation. So you're going to look at those, and you're also going to look at the if you fish KBF tournaments, you know that there's very few differences. They're pretty much identical, with the exceptions of some certain things when it comes to boundaries. Not boundaries, but wade fishing and things like that for some of our events. So, and we try to make those known in all the event details prior to a tournament. That way, nobody has, that way it's clear for everyone. But yeah, just know that we do only allow the catch boards at this time. I do have a Yak Attack leaderboard that was sent to me. Huge shout out to Yak Attack, one of our biggest and longest standing sponsors. We also got gift cards from them this year, so big shout out to them. But I'm hoping I can get out on the water as well this weekend with Riley. That's my plan, is to be able to use that board. Hopefully I catch a fish or two, and continue to really put that board through the ringer for next season to make sure that I can make a well-educated decision on allowing that board for next year. It is a pretty nice board from what I've just from holding it and touching it. The thing is pretty solid. So. But at this time, like I said, it's catch boards only. Make sure if you're in the snakehead side pot that you go over to VKAE. So it's fishvkae.com, and you'll be able to check out their rule set. I believe they're also in the tournament details. So if you have trouble, again, finding that stuff, just let me know, and I'll point you in the right direction. But there are different rules for measuring snakehead than there are largemouth bass. It's very similar, but there are some nuances. So make sure you read that. If you're in the snakehead side challenge. All right, moving forward. Pre-fishing cutoff is tomorrow. Looks like I didn't update the date on that. That's from last event. But that pre-fishing will end tomorrow, September 20th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eligible waters. We're competing on the tidal portion of the Rappahannock River. So your boundaries are going to be from the Cambridge Street, which is Route 1 bridge, just above City Docks. So you are allowed to launch at City Docks and fish upstream just know that you can't go past that first Cambridge Route 1 bridge. Any further north than that will be considered out of bounds. So you have from there all the way down south to the Queen Street bridge, and that's the 360 bridge at Tappahannock that you see down there in the bottom right. I know this is kind of a very zoomed out picture. It doesn't really get into the nitty gritty. I'm not getting too crazy specific on the left and right lateral limits. Just understand that you can fish any of the Rappahannock River, the tidal Rappahannock River between those two boundaries, and then any of the tributaries as far as one may paddle or float from them, plus any canal, creek, channel, or slough connecting them within the boundaries listed. So any public launch, any public access point that is contiguous with, though not necessarily directly onto eligible water, except the off-limits areas as stated above. So if you have any questions about that, get with me. If you have an area that you were scouting out that you'd like to fish, but you're not 100% sure, please ask. Don't go at it without being 100% sure, and then find out that it's part of some, I don't know, private pond or something that touches the Rappahannock. So just make sure that, like I said, if you have questions, reach out beforehand. All right. Like I said, guys, if we have questions, I'll make sure I get to them here at the end. Kind of breezing through this pretty quick. I don't want to take too much of everyone's time. I know we got a football game coming on here pretty soon. Safety, as always, PFD and whistle is a must. If we're getting out there before daylight, we will have a designated launch time. I believe it's going to be no earlier than 5:30 because the event's going to start at 6:30. So there won't be an open launch at this event. So at 5:30, if it's dark, make sure you got your 360 light, your bow and stern, or sorry, your red and greens on your bow if you have a motor. Let's see. A flag is great for visibility, especially on this river because there's no horsepower limitations on this river. I know there's like no wake zones and things like that, but it's an open water, so there's going to be fast boats out there. So a flag is highly recommended. We will have so weather. Talk about weather a little bit. I think we're going to be okay. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on it leading up to tomorrow afternoon to see where the river and what the flow looks like. We'll check the Little Falls gauge and things like that as well. So if anything crazy happens, we'll be sure to push out mass notification via email. Check in, check out. We'll have those features available on the app. Make sure you check in for safety purposes first thing in the morning on or around the launch point that you plan on fishing. And then same with checking out. Once you're off the water, check out. If you have trouble checking out, just shoot me a message and I'll that'll count. So just want to make sure everybody's off the water and safe. And then last but not least, when it comes to emergencies and helping others, make sure you help somebody in need if they need it. Stop what you're doing and go help them out. If it's something that involves potential loss of life, limb, or eyesight, please call 911 and get the emergency first responders out there. We don't want to take any chances. Weather should be good enough. I don't think we're going to have any risk of hypothermia, things like that. We're still kind of on the tail end of summer here, so I don't expect any issues like that. But keep an eye out for each other. Be there for one another. That's what we're here. That's what we're here for at the end of the day. We want everybody to come home and fish another day. All right, game day timeline, launch etiquette. Please practice launch etiquette. Good launch etiquette, not poor launch etiquette. A lot of these ramps, these DGIF ramps, or sorry, DWR ramps, are very good ramps, but a lot of them are single car only. If you have a trailer, please make sure that you get all your stuff ready before you back the trailer down and get the kayak in the water. You don't want to park there and unload all your stuff and take 20 minutes, rigging up on the ramps. That's not what the boat ramps are for. I've been hearing some really good feedback as well because I'm actually friends with a lot of guys in the bass boat world, and they say that they've it's not always the kayak fishermen anymore. They say it's a lot of times it's recreational anglers and things like that recreational paddlers that are still trying to learn the boat ramp etiquette. So great job and kudos to everybody I haven't had or seen any major issues at all this year. So great job to getting and being efficient on the boat ramps. It means a lot to not just our club and the other kayak anglers, but everybody else that's watching. So like I said, if you have a cart, bring a cart, share a cart. That's also a big deal. If you have the ability to park up in the parking lot and wheel your stuff down, obviously that'll alleviate a lot of traffic as well. So, and like I said, if you see anything unsafe, any type of problems, just give me a holler in the morning. We already talked checking in and checking out. Lines wet will be at 0630, and lines in will be at 2:30 or 14:30 for my military folks. Um, and we'll have one half, so yeah, half an hour for final submission. So final submission cutoff will be at 3 p.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Species, obviously largemouth, smallmouth bass, if you get them, 12-inch minimum, and then we have the snakehead side challenge. Um, and then the awards. So we're planning on holding the awards at Highmark Brewery off of Route 3, just on the east side of Fredericksburg there, heading down towards King George. So they've been awesome to us, and we're really looking forward to being there. They did mention that they do have another event going on outside. So I think we're actually going to be inside for this tournament for the awards. So hopefully we'll have a good, kind of sectioned off area for us. I'll be inside setting up and everything when everybody starts to show up. So that's the plan as of now, is to be inside in one of the areas there inside Highmark Brewery. And there's some pretty decent parking around the area. So if you have a trailer or whatnot, I don't think you're going to have any major issues. We usually do pretty good every year when we go there. And all right, that is pretty much it. I'm gonna go over here and check out some of the questions, some of the comments that we've been getting over here. I already talked about the AOY standings. Cameron, if you need help finding those, man, just let me know. Mike, already signed up for the main event. Can I still sign up for Snakehead Stop? Yep, you should be able to go back in there and just add the ticket. If you have trouble, just let me know, and I'll help you through it. Catch and release for the snakes, or can we keep and kill? Let me get back to you on that. I think I don't want to speak prematurely on it, but let me talk with Joe and see what the plan is for that, and I will get back to you. As of right now, it is release, Lee, but I'll make a final call on that before the event starts, and I'll push that out in an email. So great question. I'm glad you brought that up, because I did not make a final determination on that, whether or not you can keep or have to release a snakehead. Yep, yeah, and that's why VKA does do the catch and release. So I want to talk with Joe and see what what the pros and cons are of that when it comes to competition fishing. Steve, no, winners don't have to attend the awards. If you can't, that's okay. If you are in the contending for the top 1 to 2 to 3 places, I highly recommend it. We love getting photo ops and things like that. It's a big deal for our sponsors. So if you do well, I really like I said, if you can't make it, that's totally cool. But if someone does well, I would really would like them to try to be there. We owe it to those who support us. But yeah, no, it's not mandatory. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think. Oh, let's talk payouts real quick. What are we sitting at right now? Last time I checked, so we're at 36 right now. That's pretty good. I think that's more than where we were at last tournament at this time, and that one grew to over 40, close to 50 anglers. So I have no doubts in my mind we'll hit 40 over at least 40 tomorrow. So if that's said, if we have the 40 angler show out, we are looking at a first place payout of at least 775, second place 365, third place 213, fourth 106, fifth, and that'll hit the first fifth place payout if we hit over 40, and that's at $61. And big bass will be at $400, plus the $50 kicker from Southland Concrete for the Southland launch, and that'll bring it to, at a minimum, $450. So big bass is taking home more than second place as of right now. So that's awesome. And big snakehead, it's $10 a head. So let's check and see how many tickets we have for snakehead. For snakehead, we have here we go. So I made it so that you can actually view all this stuff on Fishing Chaos. If you just go to the main event page and click stats underneath tickets, you can see the breakdown between snakehead and big bass. So there's 18 snakehead tickets. So right off the bat, that's $180 for a big snakehead. That's awesome. Hopefully we'll see some more of those come through. But yeah, really good. That's all I have, guys and gals. I appreciate it very much. Like I said, we have a good turnout coming. Final event, final trail stop of the year. We'll talk again at the awards. We'll talk a little bit about qualifications for Classic, and we'll make sure that we get those lists out as soon as possible. Because, like I said, we're turning and burning, and the Classic is going to be in 2 weeks on October 5th. So, thank you guys very much. I hope everyone has a great rest of the evening. Give me a shout out if you have any questions. The Fishing Chaos app for chat is a great way to get a hold of me. Obviously, if those of you have my cell number, shoot me a text or whatever, that's cool too. Oh, don't forget, if you're in the area, even if you aren't fishing the tournament, I still have a bunch of shirts and hats from the pre-order that we did earlier this year from our buddy Chase over at Threadfin Apparel. They're fantastic. Those who have the new shirts, the new hooded performance shirts and the hats can attest that they're probably the best we've ever had. So a huge shout out to Threadfin Apparel and all of our sponsors who just make this club what it is. We're extremely blessed. We're extremely proud to throw their names on our banner. So just please support them, guys. If you're new to the club and you don't have the discount sheet from the participating sponsors, get a hold of me. I'll make sure you have those, and just get out there and support our sponsors. They love what we're doing. But that's it. I appreciate everyone. Have a great rest of the evening. Get a hold of me if you need anything. Out here.